Good morning, Kingdom people. Chris Silva coming to you live Sunday morning, live at 9:45. Where are you today? It's an amazing day outside. It's beautiful. The sun is out. I love this weather. Got my little sweater on this morning. It feels good outside. I hope you're doing well. Why don't we take this opportunity to share the podcast with someone this morning as we go live here every Sunday morning, live at 9:45 as we normally do. We're going to give everybody a few minutes to jump on. Say hello to me if you're out there watching, and I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what's going on. Sunday morning, live at 9:45. We won't be long, but we will be strong this morning, bringing you the kingdom message. The message of the kingdom here on earth. Let your kingdom come, let your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So welcome this morning. Give everybody just a few more moments here. Say hello to me. I want to know if you're watching. I'd love to say hello to you. All that kind of good stuff. All right, welcome to you this morning. Let's see who we got here. Frank, you're ready. So am I, buddy. I'll give you a call here in a little bit. Maybe we can get some golfing today. Glad you're on the show this morning with us watching. Pastor Tim Walker, you're in bed. Fantastic. I hope you're getting rest. You need it, sir. You work very hard, very diligently. So get some rest, sir. We'll talk to you later as well. Well, welcome to the show. We hope this message finds you thriving and not just striving in today's society. We want to welcome you to the podcast this morning, Kingdom Life Matters. This is a place where we discuss dangerous ideas and in a peaceful manner. And just want to bring to you some thoughts this morning. We won't be long this morning, but wherever two or more are gathered, there he is in our midst. And this is what we do. Whether 2 people, 20 people, or 200 or 2,000 people or 200,000 people watch this podcast, it's in my heart and my mind that I want to continue to spread the message of the kingdom, because let me tell you something, the revolution is taking place. And we're here in the United States. I'm recording live here Sunday morning, live at 9:45 here in my Kingdom Life studio here in Fort Worth, Texas. And I'm in the United States. Wherever you might be listening to this podcast or watching this video, wherever you are, I guarantee you the environment, the community, the state, the village, wherever you're listening to this, the revolution is taking place all across the world. So what we're doing is we're challenging mindsets. We're challenging the status quo, and the time for reformation is now. I think it was JFK that said, if not now, then when? If not us, then who can bring around this reformation? In fact, the Bible says that we are the ones to whom the end of the ages have come. We are the ones to whom the end of the age has come. Every other dispensation, every past history, everything in our biblical response, everything in our Constitution here in the United States, wherever you might be watching, it is our challenge that we promote the revolution. It's our challenge that we promote and challenge and move forward in the Reformation. Things are reforming before us. Things we've never thought we could see before. What COVID has done and changed this world, whether it's politicized or not. We are all in challenging situations, both corporately, which means all of us together, and individually. So today I want to talk a little bit about that. But before I get started here, let me just share with you a couple of things here. Again, my name is Coach Chris. I'm your life coach. Something I've been doing for quite some time. In fact, I'm just finishing up my certification in a 2-year process that I've been working with. But I want you to know this is Kingdom Life. This is a place where we discuss Kingdom Life principles and spiritual concepts. We take things from the heavenly. Listen to me. I'll never stop saying what I'm saying. Kingdom Life matters. You have been sent from the kingdom. You're our God, our creator, whatever you might think that is. There is a creator to the universe and our natural environment. We were created. We are created beings. And so we take things from the kingdom concepts, and we want to translate that back into our natural world, our everyday living. So this is a place where we discuss kingdom life principles and spiritual concepts. You can continue to write to me at Coach Chris at IamKingdomLife.org. You can obviously like us on Facebook at I Am Kingdom Life, on our YouTube channel, on our Spotify channel. And here's one of the most favorite things I have going right now. You can text the word Kingdom Life as one word. Text the word Kingdom Life to the number 22999. Text the word Kingdom Life to 22999. There I send out weekly messages, sometimes 2-3 times a week as I'm just prompted, and something that an idea or a saying or something that I might be going through myself that's encouraging. I send those text messages out, and I'd love for you to be a part of that. I'm getting some good feedback from people who are saying they appreciate the words of encouragement. So that's, again, something that we continue to do on a regular basis. So wherever you might be watching, I want you to be encouraged. Listen, I know that we're in some challenging times. So today I'm just going to take just a few moments to touch on a few vital parts of some things that I'm hearing, some challenges that I know that are taking place. Especially during this COVID time, a lot of our businesses are closing down, challenges with unemployment or being employed. What are the next stages in your income? What are the next stages in your finances? What are the next stages in your relationships? A lot of worry, a lot of doubt, a lot of uncertainty at all age levels. Listen, we sometimes as adults, and I'm already teaching now, so I'm just jumping right in here this morning. So join in with me, connect with me right away on these thought processes. So I'm getting a lot of feedback, a lot of conversation, a lot of dialogue, and I want us to understand, when I was a kid, we could just go outside and play and run around and do these type of things. But our kids are connected to society and more up to date on things more than some of the adults are. Used to, we get our information from the newspaper or wait for the 6 o'clock news or the 8 o'clock news or the late news or whatever. But kids are so connected. So I'm reaching out to us as adults, and I'm trying to reach out to the next generation, those in my community, those that I can touch and those that I can speak into their lives, and try to make a connection, because we as adults, if we're feeling oppression, depression, and just the stresses of life, let me tell you something, so are our kids, so are the next generation. So when I'm gone away in the next 30, 40, 50 years, whatever that time clock looks like, my kids will be the next one to be running the family, to be taking care of their lives, to be growing, having their children, and to be growing their lifestyle. So we have to be prepared. And the greatest challenge is our mental capacity to go through these transitions, to go through the changes, to understand the things that are going on in our society. So the individual person here is the challenge. How do we embrace and go through the challenges of looking at each situation, from a breakup with a boyfriend or girlfriend, or a loss of a job, or a loss of a loved one that has gone on to their next challenge in life, and then to the spiritual realm, whatever that is. Listen, we're all in transition. We're all changing. We are all on a journey. So this morning I'm going to show you a couple of slides here, and this is the most one of the things I most love here. You see, we're in the United States, so this is the way I'm going to explain it. We here in the United States have a constitution to the United States. We know, we should know what the Bill of Rights are. We have rights as citizens of the United States. Listen to me now. We have rights as citizens of the United States, and you have rights. Hopefully, you have rights whatever country you're living in. We have humanity rights. We have rights as humanity to live and to roam around in some places. Some of you might not have that. But listen, we have a right to go down to the store, buy those things that we need. We feel encapsulated and stuck by the rules and the laws. And so this is where the revolution is taking place. But I know my Constitution. I know my constitutional rights. I know the amendments to the Constitution. The First Amendment, the Second Amendment, and the rights to bear arms, the right to speech, and these type things. These are things that we know here in the United States. Now, whatever country you might live in, you might have your own particular laws there. But here's the deal. We know the rules of engagement for our governments, the governing sanctions, the governing rules, the governing bodies, the people that we vote for or elect, however they come into power. But listen, we know those rights. We know the things that are taking place in those arenas. But here's the challenge. Here's what I'm challenging us. What does the kingdom government look like? Like, I am balancing the spiritual aspect, and I use our Bible, the Bible as a constitution by God our Creator, and I take those concepts and those principles out of that. But the challenge is we do not know the kingdom government that we are created by, that we hold a sanctity and hold at the highest level, our Bible, the words that are in it for us to live. See, if we can know the natural world of our Constitution, what the Constitution has given us, and by those rights and by those laws, and we cause a revolution of change, and what does the First Amendment give us, and what does the Second Amendment give us, and what are our civil rights give us? See, we fight and we kill and we maim and we destroy relationships and we destroy one another based on those principles that were written by men in a natural world, in a natural order, in a natural government, but we know nothing of kingdom government, and that's the challenge. So we start pushing into, and this is what kingdom life is all about, establishing the kingdom government here on earth. The problem is we do not know what rights we have in that courtship. That's the challenge, is discovering the kingdom government. How does it govern in your life, and how does it govern us as a people? Get that down deep in your thought. Get that down deep into your spirit. Let that settle there for a minute. Let that simmer there in your thought process. The kingdom government. How does it govern your life? What you don't know, you can't apply. What you do not know, you cannot apply. You have God-given rights by the kingdom. You have God-given rights by the kingdom. You have dominion and authority. If you remembered last week's podcast, I spoke a little bit about God does not work because God has rested from all his works during creation. Then on the cross, he said, "It is finished." This is so powerful, this concept. So understanding the kingdom, moving forward in kingdom concepts and life principles, we should gain a certain amount of maturity, a certain amount of understanding for application. We learn some fundamentals that we learn to apply to our life and get better results. Listen, at every stage of life, we will be challenged. We will be charged. We'll be given a mandate by our purpose to move forward to the next level. We are all trying to break through to that next level, whether you're in high school going to college, you're in college, coming out of college, going into a career path. Maybe you've been in a career path and you're now getting married, and maybe you're married and now having children, and maybe you have grandchildren now, and maybe you're moving into retirement. See, all of these are stages in life that we transition from one place, from point A to point B. The question is, how do you get there? And if you have nothing to govern yourself, we will take on every idea and every concept that's thrown our way. We're blown away by every wind of doctrine, never coming to the fullness and the likeness of his image, both individually and corporately. See, this is the challenge. And how do you apply that, Coach Chris? I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked that question. So the kingdom government is the challenge and the mindset. What does the kingdom say, and what does the kingdom allow you to do and not do? You see, this is where we get confused between the constants and the variables. That which should be constant, and that's what should be variable. See, the constant is things constantly change. The variable is how do we approach each one of those situations? It's not always the same. You know, I've been playing golf for several years, but more this year than I have in the past. And every shot is different. It's not always the same. The mechanics, there's constants there, but the variables is how does that ball lie on the green, in the fairway, and each stroke and each way I hit the ball. It all depends on what that situation has presented itself. So this is the way it is in life. Whether you're breaking up with a boyfriend, whether you've lost your job, or whether you're being promoted, or you just hit the lottery, each one of those are transitional moments. So here's the key factor that we teach in coaching. We don't coach the problem, we coach the individual. We don't coach the problem. Alcoholism is not the problem. Drug addiction is not the problem. It's the individual. So we change and challenge the individual to think differently, to respond differently, because we're looking for behavioral change. And that's what I'm challenging individuals is learn your government. How are you governed? And if you're not using the kingdom dynamic that we're teaching as a kingdom government, what is it that you're applying to life? What text, what book, what creed, what motto are you using for your life's journey? What creed, what religion, what modus operandi are you using to govern your life? What creator or lack of creator, maybe you don't believe in a creator, whatever it is, I don't understand that. I don't understand not having higher power looks like in your life. You have to have a principle that you live by in your life. And what is that? Who told you that? And where did you discover it? Is it working for you? What rules of engagement have you learned to put into your life that helps you through all these processes? Or are we the individuals that say, I can't cope with this, I got to check out? Listen, I'm not trying to be not sensitive here. I know there's stresses. I know you're struggling out there, but I'm trying to move us into, and I can't unpack all the kingdom government and all those principles. We either lay it into politics or religion. There's only two factors that we go into. That's all you have. We separate ourselves by the politics, by the politicians around us, and those things that we believe. Or we go into religion and we separate ourselves by, oh, I'm a Pentecost, oh, I'm a Methodist, oh, I'm a Baptist. And we separate ourselves from all of this and forget that we're just humans and we all live in this community called Earth. And we get to live together, but humanity, I want to believe in the best of humanity. But sometimes we just find the struggles and we look at all the bad stuff of one another, and we destroy ourselves for all the bad stuff. One of the other principles I want to give us here this morning is, embracing each transition and each journey of our life and being in that moment, even in the difficult situations. If we try to change our mindsets where it's extremely difficult and say, okay, God, what is it that you wanted me to learn here? What is it that I'm supposed to be extracting out of this situation? What is it that you want me to take away from this? And that way I can learn to apply it later. And this leads me into something else. If you're constantly seeing a pattern in your life, if you're constantly losing your job, if you're constantly broke in your checking account, if you're constantly breaking up with your boyfriend or your girlfriend, a pattern develops here. And maybe you're not recognizing what that pattern is. If you're seeing something constantly and consistently showing up in your life, constantly and consistently, maybe people taking advantage of you. Maybe you're taking advantage of people. Whatever that situation is, if you see it constantly occurring in your life, you should say, uh-oh, I've seen this before. I know this song and dance. I've heard this one before. Something should begin to resonate in your spirit, and then you should reach out. Try to find a community that can help you process that out, work that out. You can call me at Coach Chris. You can email me at coachchris@iamkingdomlife.org. You can write me here on the Facebook. and learn to develop and overcome that situation. And I guarantee you, when you learn a principle that you learn to apply it to your life, you're going to feel pretty good. You're going to feel pretty good. So what does it take? We're taking a look at these things. Natural things versus spiritual things. And what does the combination of both of them look like? You are natural. You're a body. You have a soul. And then you have your spirit. There are spiritual things. And we learn to balance those. We learn to balance those two things, the natural and the spiritual, the natural and the spiritual. That's why one of my key signature messages, when two worlds collide, when these two worlds collide between the natural and the spiritual, what do we do and where does that leave us? What does that look like? How do we balance these two worlds between the natural and the spiritual? And we sometimes think that the natural overrules the spiritual. We think that something that we might do or say or wear gets us kicked out of the spiritual realm by something we do here naturally. I was brought up in a religion that if you had a television in your life, you were going to hell. I was brought up in a religion that said if you were smoking a cigarette, you were going to go to hell. I want to see who's listening this morning. I was brought up in a religion that said if you had a taste of alcohol, you were going to hell. Oh boy, I'm touching somebody this morning. I know you can hear me. I know you can hear me this morning. I was brought up in a religion that said if you were holding hands with a girl, I remember not even being able to go swim. Well, the boys had to swim with the boys and the girls had to swim with the girls, and never the two together because it was a sin. Everything we did was a sin. We couldn't go to a restaurant that had a bar in it because it was a sin. What a crock of crap that was. I'd use other words, but I don't think we're ready for that in this podcast. Man-made stupidity. Now, I know some of us struggle. Obviously, smoking isn't good for you, and drinking a lot of alcohol isn't good for you. Neither is drinking a six-pack of Dr. Peppers for you every day. It's not good for you. But we want to condemn another addiction, but our addiction's okay. See, we have to balance the natural and the spiritual. What you're doing is not kicking you out of this kingdom dynamic. It's not. But what we got to learn to do is embrace those things which are good and release the things which are not working and effective for us. It might be for a season, it might be for a day. Learning to embrace the good and releasing the bad. Somebody's honking their horn this morning. That's the challenge. Those are the things that we're looking at. So, learning the kingdom government, the kingdom dynamic of how do we balance the natural things and the spiritual things. These are the challenges that we have in the approaches of everyday life and everyday living. It is our flesh versus the spirit. It is our flesh versus the spirit. There's an old text that says the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. There's another scripture that says that which is born of flesh is flesh, and that which is born of the spirit is spirit. It's like vinegar and oil here. Water and vinegar. Any of those combinations, they don't mix. They will not combine. But which one controls the other? It should be our spirit, man, because you are a spirit being that should challenge us and help us and move forward in our fleshly environment. But then in our fleshly environment, we must carry out the spiritual mandate. The problem is, you're going to ask me, well, Chris, what does that look like? I can only help you through the process. It is you that you're going to have to walk out the principles. It's going to be you that does the hard work. It's going to be you that learns to walk every day, even when it's hard to get up in the morning because of depression, oppression, and stress. I get it. I live in this world too. You don't think I don't get stressed out? You'd be wrong. I go to work every day. I pay bills just like you do. But what we're looking for is victory to victory. It's a line here and a line there, a principle here, a principle there, that we're constantly growing. I have some of my eldership. Dr. Jose is my mentor, a good mentor of mine. In fact, a good friend of mine is Frank as well. I've got a lot of good friends. I'm just throwing out a couple of names there. But at every stage, even at the age of 50, 60, 70, 80 years old, Dr. Jose tells me it's a life's journey. You have some challenges here. Let me give you another principle. To go fast, if you want to go fast, go by yourself. But if you want to go far, travel with someone else. So you can get out there by yourself in a concept or an idea, and you're going to get way out there, and you're going to be by yourself. I had to learn this the hard way. But if you travel together, you will go far. Who is in your community? Who are you surrounded by that can help you grow and develop into your life's purpose and to your life's destiny? This is the challenge. These are the things that we're looking for. Yep, it is. Learning kingdom government. You got to connect with me as we continue to take the kingdom life principles and extract it and apply it to our lives. This is important. This is so important. I'm not going to stop saying it. It's not about politics and it's not about religion. It's not about politics and it's not about religion. There he is. Can you see him? There he goes. That's my lovely puppy Rollo there. Welcome to the show, buddy. So anyway, it's not about politics and it's not about religion. It's not. It's about the kingdom. I don't care if you're a Republican or Democrat. That's in your natural realm. And I don't care that you try to apply religion. I don't care that you're an Assemblies of God or Jehovah's Witness. I do not care. Those are man-made ideologies and theologies of what we try to create our God to be through a systematic process of doing these steps and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Wrong. God has created you for a purpose, and it is the government of the kingdom that we must discover. We must discover the mandate of the kingdom. How does that apply to your life? And that's the challenge. Seek first the kingdom of heaven and his righteousness, and everything else gets added unto you. See, the kingdom of heaven is within you. It's time for you to start discovering who you are and the purpose and the destiny that lays before you. I just want to welcome you again this morning and thank you for being with us today. I told you we were not going to be long, but we would be strong this morning. So welcome. Take this message, learn to apply it to your life. Just start looking for the kingdom. Start speaking to your Creator. Start speaking to your God. If He's not talking to you, contact me. I'd love to introduce you to mine. But be blessed, be encouraged, stay safe, stay challenged, move into the next stage of life. I promote you, I empower you. If this show has been a blessing to you, if something you've heard has impacted your life in any way, I want to hear from you. Stay in contact with me. I will encourage you. I'll give you words of encouragement, but ultimately, you've got to take that and apply it to your life. I can give you some principles. I can give you some ideas through the coaching process that you can learn to apply to your life. And that's the critical point. What tools are you using? What books are you reading? What music are you listening to? What movies are you watching that's impacting your mind that you're applying to your life? Is the life you're living the one you want to see? If your life was a dream, what would it be saying? If your life was a dream, what would be the interpretation of it? Think about it. Are you manifesting who you want to be? Are you manifesting what you want to be? Not about doing, about being. You don't do, you must be. Manifest, see it, hold it, profess it, and become it. If you're getting this message, remember, you're not just the resistance, but you're the reformation brought here on earth to be a blessing to those who are in a light and a dark place. Be blessed, and we will talk to you again. Take care.